Hey guys, welcome back. Today I'm leading you through a 15-minute booty workout with no equipment. Make sure that you can see your screen so you can follow along with me. And without further ado, let's get to it. All right guys, we're first starting off with some sumo squats with a pulse at the bottom. So feet are a little bit wider, toes are angled outward. We're coming down, you're gonna pulse and come up. When you come up, make sure that you're not hinging those hips forward. You're keeping the tension on the glutes and keeping your upper body leaning slightly forward. Make sure you're pressing through those heels to stand up. You're engaging those glutes. Nice work, taking a 15-second rest. Next up, we're gonna do some curtsy lunges and we're going to alternate. So you're gonna step to the side. This leg is gonna come behind you on a diagonal. You're gonna come down. You're gonna really focus on sitting into this supporting heel, pressing through this glute. And then we're gonna switch. So you'll feel this in your outer glutes if you're pushing through that supporting heel properly. Good, 15-second rest, shake out those legs. Next up, we're gonna do some side lunges. We're gonna do one side at a time. So choose a leg to start off with. Stance is nice and wide. Again, I'm gonna sound like a broken record, but you're sitting into that supporting heel. Pressing through that heel so that you're engaging that glute to come up. Make sure when you're coming down, you're not dropping that chest too much. Keep it lifted, sit back into that glute. Good, 15-second rest. We're gonna do the other side. Here we go, chest lifted, sitting into that glute. When you're coming to the center, again, try and keep the tension on the glute. Don't let it go here. Don't let that hip go forward. Nice work. We're gonna head down to the ground. Next up, nice and simple, we're gonna do some glute bridges. So this is a very simple movement, but I want you to focus on pressing your lower back into the floor in between each rep and also keeping your weight in your heels. So if it helps you, lift those toes up off the floor so that you're forced to keep your weight in those heels. By pressing your lower back to the ground, you're protecting it rather than, if you're just focusing on squeezing those glutes, you're gonna arch your back and you might feel it a little bit in your lower back. Press those hips up as high as you can to the sky. Good, we're gonna stay down here. Same thing, next up we're gonna do a glute bridge, but at the top of your glute bridge, you're gonna do an abduction. So you're gonna raise those hips up, and as you're doing this abduction, I see a lot of you guys actually on Instagram doing this, following along with me, and when you do your abduction, you're letting the hips drop. So when you're doing that abduction, keep those hips pressed as high as you can, squeeze, and then lower everything together. Good, we're gonna flip it over into a tabletop position. Next step, these intervals are gonna be 30 seconds each without a rest in between. You're gonna be doing a kickback. So you're gonna choose a leg, you're gonna kick it back, you're gonna make sure that you're not arching your back, you're just focusing on using that working leg, squeezing the glute, keeping your core engaged. Here we go, we're getting ready to switch to the other leg right away. Stretch that leg and squeeze that glute as hard as you can. Good, taking a quick 15-second rest. Next up, we're gonna do some fire hydrants. So we're gonna be in the same position. You're just lifting your leg out to the side, focusing on bringing that knee up as high as you can without wobbling the upper body. So when you're doing it, you're not kind of throwing your upper body into it, keeping everything nice and strong, core is tight, just moving that working leg. Good, other leg right away. Good, 15-second rest. Next up, we're gonna do some donkey kick pulses. So, same thing, you're gonna drive your working hip down toward the floor so you're not opening this leg. You don't wanna cheat it. You wanna keep that hip toward the floor and focus on sending that heel up to the sky. And we're just gonna pulse for 30 seconds. If the pulsing is too much, you feel like you can't do this for 30 seconds, you're gonna pulse twice, bring it in, bring it up, pulse, pulse, and in. Good, other leg right away. Think about driving that working hip toward the floor, don't open it up. All right, next up, we're gonna still be on the ground here, but we're gonna do some elevated clamshells. So you're gonna be putting the pressure on the heel of your hand, legs are bent. You're gonna focus on this lower leg. You're gonna lift up, squeeze that side glute, and then slowly come down. This might feel funky the first couple times you do it, but your focus here, mind to muscle, is this side glute. If you feel like you can't really do this on your hand and you're not feeling it, you're gonna come down to your elbow. Just do a regular clamshell. I just find it's really easy for me to target my glute when I'm up on my hand. Good, we're gonna switch sides. Whew. All right, let's stand it up. Those sides of your booties should be burning right now. All right, next up, 45 seconds each leg. You're gonna come down into a kneeling position and you can let that knee drop. You're gonna focus on the supporting leg driving through this heel, bring the knee up. So almost as if you were to like step up onto something, we're mimicking that just without any equipment. So take this nice and slow if you have to. When you're down here, think about shifting the weight into this heel, using that glute to stand up. Good, 15-second rest, and we're gonna do the other side. Here we go, kneel down, press through the supporting heel. Couple more, find that sweet spot. Good, we have 2 more exercises to go. Next up, you're gonna do a good morning to a squat. So a good morning, your feet are about shoulder width, maybe a little bit wider. You're gonna come forward, hinging those hips back. So send the booty back. Coming up, down into a squat, and up again. So you should feel those glutes fire up right about now. So right as you start to hinge to come upward, those glutes should fire up. Nice work. Last exercise, you're gonna do a reverse lunge with a kickback. So, stepping to the top of your mat, you're gonna step back into a reverse lunge. Down here, this time your knee is not touching the floor. You're down into a lunge, you're gonna shift your weight into the supporting leg, squeeze this back glute, down, center, and switch. Sit back into your lunges, press through those heels. And that is it, guys. Great job. I hope you enjoyed this quick 15-minute no equipment booty focused workout. If you did, give this video a thumbs up. Let me know how you did in the comment section of this video. Subscribe if you're new here. Make sure that you turn on your post notifications so you don't miss another video from me, and I will see you guys very soon. Bye.